Hi internet friends and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Alex, a doctor and a lifelong collector. And this channel is about joy, lifestyle and well-being and of course, unboxings. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may notice the collection of boxes behind me. The Pop Mart gods have been so good to me lately. I've had back-to-back wins on the Pop Mart raffle. I've been really lucky on the Pop Mart website and on the TikTok lives. And I think in my entire collecting journey, I'm not sure I've ever been this lucky. So I'm really hoping that that holds out and we get a secret. Now, today what I wanted to do was start right at the very beginning of the Pop Mart Labubu journey. And the best place for that? The exciting Macaron collection. Now, I think for most of us, the Macaron collection is the one that started the obsession with these little monsters. And I think whether you collect Labubus or whether you don't, if you asked someone to describe a Labubu, they'd probably describe a Macaron collection. They're cutesy and they're little pastel shades. And really, as I said, this is the one that kicked it all off. Now, these were released in the end of 2023, but it wasn't really until 2024 when the hype started to take off. And most people credit Lisa from Blackpink with the rise in that popularity. And then after her, we had the likes of Dua Lipa, Rihanna, even Cher being seen out and about with their Labubus. So I am incredibly excited to open this. This is my first full set of Labubus. Up until now, I've only ever been able to buy singles, so I'm really excited to open a full set. The exciting Macaron collection was actually where my first Labubu came from, and my first was Soy Milk. She's wearing a bandana at the moment because you know, the weather is changing and I want her to keep her head warm. She's looking a little worse for wear these days. She's been out and about quite a lot, but she was my first Labubu and for me, the one that started it all. So, shall we get into this box? So in case you're new to Labubus, let me explain how a full set works. So in each box, there are 6 individual boxes and there are 6 individual main characters for this series. And there is a secret. And in theory, this box will contain one of each of the regular characters, but one may be replaced with a secret. Now, I have never pulled the secret, so I can't tell you if that's accurate or not. But the characters in this series are Soy Milk, Lychee Berry, Green Grape, Sea Salt Coconut, Toffee, and Sesame Bean. Now, as I said, my first Labubu was Soy Milk. I have a very soft spot for her. She is always my go-to. And I do also have a bit of a soft spot for Toffee. Toffee is a very versatile, very comforting Labubu. Now, because I already have this set, I'm not going to keep these. I am going to pass them on to friends and family. So don't worry, the girls will get good homes. I'm so excited to open this box. I always love it when you watch unboxings and they open them up as if we're in Pop Mart. I don't know why, that gets to me every time. So I picked this box up from the Pop Mart store in Manchester. And when I picked it up, I asked the woman behind the counter if she had a good feeling about it. And she said that she did. So fingers crossed we have a secret hiding in here. So my mind is drawn to this one. So I'm going to save that one for later. And I'm going to start with this box here. I'm so excited to get into this first set. Now, one thing I'm really interested in seeing is the quality because I've heard a lot, I've read a lot, seen a lot of videos commenting on the fact that the quality seems to have gone down with some of the newer series. Now, it's not something I've personally had an issue with anything I've bought, but I would be interested to see what the newer quality is like. Now, this doesn't sound like a secret, but looking at the box and the options, I think this is Sea Salt Coconut. Let's see. Okay. I love that we still have the rippy bags on these. I understand why we have drawstring bags, but These bags are beautiful and they are incredibly fun to open. It's not sea salt, but it is sesame. Well, sesame has a slightly chubby head, but other than that, I have to say, probably not the worst that I've seen. Maybe a slightly skew with foot. We have to give sesame a little bit of a massage. One thing that does bug me a little bit about the Labubus is the length of their tags. Now, I understand why they have the tags, and I know you can kind of wrap them back, pin them in and things like that, or cut them off, but I really would prefer the tags to be a little bit shorter, or like on the Skullpanda where they're a bit more designed in keeping with the plush toy. I think that would be a nice touch. Now, we are really lucky that Sesame is not upright because all of her weight is in her head. Sesame has a lot of stuffing up there. There's a lot of brains going on. So we might have to do a little bit more chiropractic massaging to get her to a good shape. Oh, she is a cutie though. I think really you just can't go wrong with a classic, exciting Macaron Labubu. They are just really cute in terms of their colorways. They just have that classical Labubu appearance, really nice and soft, and they always put a smile on my face. And of course, Sesame has a card. Okay, let's move into the next box. We'll go up top. Now, again, that doesn't necessarily sound like the secret. So what we're doing there is trying to hear if there are more than one card inside the box. That sounds like one card to me. So I don't know if there's a secret hiding in here, but I think this is giving Lychee. No, it wasn't Lychee, but it's green grape, a very, very chunky green grape. Oh, green grape's ears maybe have had a bit of an argument with each other. Like Sesame, green grape needs a little bit of massage. Green grape has definitely been eating all of the pies. Can we see the difference in the width? I do quite like my Labubus chunky though, or as they say, chunky. I think they just make them a little bit extra cute, but I think Green Grape looks like she is wearing another Labubu. I think she's just definitely a little fuller figured. So whilst I'm quite happy with Green Grape in terms of her shape and things, and yes, we can continue to massage it and try and tease her shape into a little bit more of a traditional shape, I do think her ears are a little bit disappointing. They are quite far apart at the base and they really should be pointing in towards the tips. And although you can kind of tweak the rest of your Labubu, that's very difficult to do at the tips here. But all in all, I've definitely seen a lot worse. Okay, on to box number 3. Shake for luck. I'm not convinced there's a secret hiding in here either. Now, I have been wrong every time so far. So we've got Green Grape and we've got Sesame. I've incorrectly identified a couple, but I'm going to stick with my guns and I'm going to say this is Lychee. sea salt coconut. Actually, sea salt coconut is not bad at all. Maybe a little bit of massaging needed. But I'd say actually she's pretty much perfect out of the box. She's definitely a little on the chunky side. Again, that's not a problem. But in terms of her ear position, I'm quite happy with those. Her feet are reasonably level and reasonably well proportioned through her head and her tummy. You get a good pass. Congratulations. She is pretty cute though. She's just a really soft, it's almost like a grayish blue, and I think it's appearing a little bit lighter on camera, but she is quite cute. And I must admit, in terms of my initial impressions on the color, I wasn't overly keen on sea salt coconut. It wasn't really my vibe color-wise, but she's really grown on me. I particularly like the coloring inside her ear and her little blue nose. She's very cute. And of course, she has her card. Okay, we're halfway through. No, I think that's still one card. Now, as I have continually incorrectly called them, I'm not even going to guess on this one as to who this is. I'm wrecking the joint now. Oh, little Soy Milk. Oh, Soy Milk is gonna need a little bit of work. So I think I said at the beginning that Soy Milk was my original Labubu and just has a really soft spot in my heart, and just wanted to compare the newer and the older versions of Soy Milk. So this is my original Soy Milk and this is the newer Soy Milk. And in general, right off the bat, as I look at these, I can see that the newer one is definitely wider in the body, in the face, and also with front to back as well. Now, this is not about fat shaming. I don't mind a chunky Labubu, so I'm not bothered about that. But there definitely is a slight difference in the overall proportions and dimensions. Face-wise, I'm not convinced there is a huge amount of difference between the two. They look fairly similar to me. I would say the newer one has slightly longer ears than mine, but again, minor. And I'm really sorry. Having looked at the two side by side, it shows me how dirty my Soy Milk is. Look, she's had some adventures, okay? She's lived a life, so it tells a story, but definitely seeing her up close with a newer one makes me a little bit ashamed about the color of my Soy Milk. But I would say other than overall proportions, there isn't a huge amount of difference. So that's Soy Milk. Now, I am tempted to keep this Soy Milk because, you know, mine, as I said, she is my original. She's my girl. She's my go-to, the one I take pretty much everywhere. And she's definitely, she looks like she's been loved. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it might be nice to have a rotational option for her, especially if we need to keep her in or clean her or things like that. So I'm tempted to keep this one, but we'll see. We'll see. Should we put your hat back on? I don't want your head to get cold. You do like to wear it at a jaunty angle, don't you? Okay. So, new Soy Milk, go join your family. And of course, Soy Milk has her card. Okay, so we've got 2 boxes left, and so far we've met Sesame Bean, Green Grape, Sea Salt Coconut, and Soy Milk, which means we potentially have Lychee Berry and Toffee left to meet, or we could have a secret. Let's see. Let's shake. No, that doesn't sound like a secret either. So we are probably going to get one of these. Let's see. Oh, not the best pop there. Oh, I saw the fur peek through. I know who we're meeting. Welcome, Lychee. Oh, Lychee. She is a lot of people's favorites, and I definitely understand it. In terms of pinks, it's probably not my favorite pink, but she is very cute. Now, this Lychee, again, needs a little bit of a massage just to bring her back to life. And if you think about it, these are just stuffed toys, and they have traveled all the way from China, and who knows how long they've lived in these boxes. So it is not unreasonable to think they might get a little squished from time to time. So just a little bit of I call it a chiropractic massage to get them back into shape. She is very cute though. I do have a soft spot for Lychee. Now, I have to say, on balance, so far, I do think the quality has been fairly reasonable. Okay, we maybe had a couple of ear issues here and there, but I've seen so much worse on the internet. So I'm really not mad about this collection so far. She's a sweetie. And of course, she has her card. Okay, this is it. Last box. Now, I'm not sure I feel a secret in here. I think it's too light for a secret. So the only character we haven't yet met from this is Toffee, and of course, the secret. Now, I said to you at the beginning that actually I've only really been able to buy singles. This is the first time that I've bought the full set. And I've ended up having about 4 or 5 Toffies. I do seem to have a track record of attracting Toffee. I have given Toffee to so many people. So I suspect this probably is Toffee, but let's see. Oh, that was an excellent pop to finish the set. What? Hang on. That's Sesame Bean, but we already have Sesame Bean. What? What am I missing? Sorry, my brain has just gone a little bit confused. So I think, I mean, as I said, this is the first time I've opened a full box, so I'm not entirely certain, but from what I've heard from other people, essentially we have to get back in touch with Pop Mart, which, I mean, that's okay. I bought her at the Trafford Centre, so I guess I need to get in touch with them. I'm not sure. And see what they say. Okay. Well, I mean, that aside, we have an additional Sesame Bean. Sorry, my brain is temporarily thrown by that. I wasn't necessarily expecting a duplicate within that set, but I suppose looking at it, we are kind of bookended by Sesame. But sorry, that's temporarily thrown me. My brain's elsewhere, but I didn't necessarily expect to get a duplicate within this set. But I suppose looking at them here, they kind of are bookended by Sesame, which I suppose is some cuteness to it. But it's okay. Like, I'll speak to Pop Mart and I'll see if there's anything they can do to help with that. Now, in terms of the quality, as I said at the beginning, that was something I was interested in looking at. And I have to say, I'm really not mad about this set at all. They're really fluffy, they're quite chunky, and a little bit of tweaking here and there, a little bit of massaging. I think we'd have a really uniform looking set here. Their feet are reasonably level. Okay, maybe a little bit of ear issue over here, but really not bad at all, and certainly not in keeping with some of the reports that I've seen online. So apart from the fact that we had a duplicate, I really enjoyed it. And hopefully Pop Mart can help me get that sorted. But as you can see, we still have more boxes behind us, and please don't tell my husband, but there are loads of boxes over that side of the room. He doesn't know about them. And there are a few more on the way. So if you'd like to see some more unboxings, please do stick around because I have a lot of things to unbox. And drop me a comment down below. Who is your favorite? Have you ever had a duplicate in a full set before, and what happened? Thanks for joining me, and thank you for watching.